Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a car that has been a household name for decades and now makes a surprising comeback, the 2025 Suzuki Mehran. Yes, you heard that right. Suzuki has decided to bring back the Mehran, and while it retains much of its classic charm, this new version comes with a handful of modern touches to keep up with today's automotive expectations. So buckle up as we explore what the new Mehran has to offer. Let's start with the way it looks. The 2025 Mehran doesn't stray far from its roots, which means you'll instantly recognize the boxy silhouette that made it a staple on the roads of South Asia. However, Suzuki has refined the design just enough to give it a slightly more polished and updated look. The headlights are now sleeker with halogen bulbs surrounded by a thin LED strip that acts as daytime running lights. The front grille has been modernized with a blacked-out honeycomb mesh, giving the front fascia a bit more aggression than the previous generations. The side mirrors are now body-colored and feature integrated turn signals, a small but welcome change. The rear end still carries that old-school hatchback vibe, but the taillights are slightly sharper and more stylish now. Despite these changes, the overall look still screams budget commuter, and that's okay. This car isn't trying to be a head-turner. It's trying to be affordable, efficient, and simple. It sits on 13-inch steel wheels, though higher variants might come with optional alloy wheels. There's minimal use of chrome, and Suzuki keeps it very basic. But again, that's the Mehran philosophy, it does what it's supposed to without any unnecessary frills. Now stepping inside the 2025 Mehran, it's clear that Suzuki wanted to bring the interior up to at least a somewhat modern standard. Gone are the sharp plastics and outdated dashboards of the old Mehran. In their place, you get a cleaner layout with improved fit and finish. Don't expect soft-touch materials or leather surfaces here, this is still an entry-level car, but everything feels a bit tighter and better assembled than before. The dashboard features a new digital analog instrument cluster that includes a basic trip computer and fuel economy readout. The steering wheel is a simple two-spoke unit, but it's slightly thicker and more comfortable to grip. At the center of the dashboard is a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system that supports Bluetooth, USB, and aux connectivity. There's no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but for this price point, having a touchscreen at all is a nice touch. The air conditioning controls are now rotary dials instead of sliders, and Suzuki has even included front power windows in the top variant. Seating remains compact, with fabric upholstery and manual adjustments. The front seats are decently padded for city driving, and the rear bench can still accommodate 2 adults fairly comfortably, though 3 is still a squeeze. Boot space is modest, but you can fold the rear seats to get a bit more room if needed. Under the hood, the 2025 Suzuki Mehran sticks with simplicity. It houses a 0.8-liter 3-cylinder engine that produces around 39 horsepower and 60 Nm of torque. These are not eye-popping numbers, but let's be real, the Mehran has never been about performance. It's all about reliability and fuel economy. The engine is mated to a 5-speed manual transmission, and for the first time, there's also an optional 4-speed automatic available for the higher trim. In terms of driving experience, the new Mehran feels familiar. It's nimble in city traffic, easy to park, and cheap to maintain. The suspension is on the firmer side, which means you'll feel most bumps, but that's part of the package. Steering is light and responsive. Enough for urban commutes. On highways, it still feels a bit out of its element, especially when fully loaded or going uphill, but for daily point A to B driving, it holds up just fine. One major improvement Suzuki has made is in fuel economy. The updated engine and lighter chassis allow the 2025 Mehran to deliver an impressive 20 to 22 km per liter, depending on how you drive. This makes it one of the most fuel-efficient cars in its segment, which is great news for budget-conscious buyers. Safety is still pretty minimal, though. You do get dual front airbags, ABS, and seatbelt reminders, but don't expect advanced driver assistance systems or crash sensors. Again, the Mehran is designed to be basic and affordable, and in that sense, it delivers. And speaking of affordability, let's talk price. The base model of the 2025 Suzuki Mehran starts at around 1.7 million Pakistani rupees, which includes a manual transmission and all the basics you need. The mid-variant goes for about 1.9 million Pakistani rupees, adding the touchscreen, power windows, and a few more creature comforts. The top-of-the-line automatic variant is priced at approximately 2.1 million Pakistani rupees. Considering how much car prices have gone up lately, Suzuki is clearly trying to keep the Mehran within reach of the average buyer. So what's the verdict? The 2025 Suzuki Mehran isn't trying to be revolutionary, it's trying to be dependable, affordable, and accessible. And in that mission, it succeeds. It's a practical choice for first-time car buyers, students, small families, or anyone looking for a simple, low-maintenance ride that gets the job done. It's not exciting, it's not luxurious, and it certainly won't win any races, but it's exactly what it's always been, a people's car. Thanks for watching. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future updates. Let me know in the comments, would you buy the new Mehran, or do you think it's time for something else? Catch you in the next one. Let me know if you want this adapted for a short version, added voiceover cues, or turned into a script with cutaways for a visual presentation.